Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. How's everyone doing today? So today we're going to talk about this. My top 10 favorite movies and top 10 favorite video games of all time for me. So with movies, I'd have to say when it comes to movies, these are movies that I can watch back to back to back. I can watch them every day and not get bored. So, number one would be, in my book, as my favorite movie of all time, would be Lost Boys. I've said that in countless times. Lost Boys is my movie yeah, great movie. I can watch it 1,000 times, not get bored with it. Then comes Lost Boys: The Tribe and Lost Boys: The Thirst. I sum them all into one because they follow each other they're all the same movie. Number two, I'd have to say in my book, would be Young Guns, the Western movie. And with Emilio Estevez and Charlie Sheen, great movie, great Western. Has Kiefer Sutherland's in it, and everything, who is also in Lost Boys. He plays a vampire. So, I figure. Number three would have to be the original black and white Dracula with Bela Lugosi. Number four would be Lon Chaney Jr.'s The Wolfman. Number five would be Boris Karloff's Frankenstein. Six would have to be number six for me would be Godzilla. All of them. I liked them all. Seven, King Kong, great movie. 8 would be The Fog. 9 would be 9, I would have to say, in my book, 9 would most definitely have to be Dragonheart would be my 9, and 10 would have to be for me 10 in my favorite movies of all time that I could watch again. Would most definitely have to be the Harry Potter series. Most definitely would be that. Favorite Harry Potter movie, though, for me, is Prisoner of Azkaban. That is my top best one. Because that one, they start bringing in the whole werewolf mythology of it, which I really enjoy. And the reason why I put number 10 as the Harry Potter series is because I'm including all of them in that series. Because I can watch them all and be fine with that. Now to the video game aspect of it. Number one for me, and this is my list of top 10 video games that I played. Number one is Goldeneye. Goldeneye was my original game that I played. Goldeneye was that game that you could play this game for hours and it was awesome. It also was one of the few games that, like, there were certain levels that you could really just you could go ham on. Like the jungle and the bunker and the silo. The silo was fun because you could actually blow the missile up inside the thing and then walk around. But when GoldenEye came out, GoldenEye had one thing that kind of made it a little bit about it. GoldenEye, the game, had, for those who are old enough to remember, there was a device called a Game Shark, and the Game Shark allowed you to use, once you beat the game, I'd play games, beat them, and then play it again, and then play it with cheat codes on, just to see what it was like. And one of the cheapest cheat codes in the entire game was the Golden Gun, because the Golden Gun killed everything. and you could basically win the entire game. With use that with infinite ammo, and you're basically a god. Now comes number two, and this number two is there's two games in number two because it's the thing, and that game is Lord of the Rings, Shadow of War, and Shadow of Mordor. I played both of them, loved them with a passion. Still play them. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about me playing these. I played this game, and I'm like a king at this game because the fact that when you play it, it was so smooth. And you took the orcs, and you could fight the hand and the mouth, and you could control. You could ride dragons and fight cave trolls and just do it all. Shadow of War was like really good. It was awesome. Number three on games that I have to play over and over again would probably be Ocarina of Time. Zelda Ocarina of Time. Great game, except for the fact that the water temple was probably the most irritating part of the game because it took forever to get past. And then there was Majora's Mask, which I played. It just took forever. I just didn't really see it fit for it. Number four. Number four of a game that I can play all the time would definitely have to be Star Fox. Star Fox for me was just amazing. It was because you could play as either Star Fox, you could play as Falco, and you could fly around and just basically take your way down. And it was really fun to play in the spaceship. It was like Space Invaders, but you could actually like fly through tunnels and shoot things and stuff. Number five for me, in my book of favorite games, PC, console, whatever, was a game called G-Police. G-Police, you basically played the game as like this helicopter-looking thing, like a ship, and you went around and you stopped bad guys. You could stop terrorists and stuff. And each time you leveled up your character, every time you leveled up, you got new and improved weapons. Like you got the cluster missile, where it shoots like missiles, and the missiles shoot out, and then they form like this circle, and then you go, and they just do that. Number seven. I can't remember. Seven. Favorite games would be, I'd have to say, out of seven, I would definitely have to say it would have to be WWE Raw 2. That game was like the ideal wrestling game at first time I played it, because it really brought it. And then WWE 2K16, 17, 18, and 20 were great. 2K20 had kind of a thing. 2K19 missed a lot of characters were missing that I didn't like about it. 8 now. We're on number 8. 8 for me, the game that for number 8 was the next three were tough to choose. But I'd have to say number 8 for me would have to be 007 Rogue Agent. Because it was amazing, because for the first time in James Bond game series, you could use the disabler, where you could actually disable the person's gun on the game, disable bad guys, their guns, so that you could basically just go town on them. Number 9, like number 8 in the James Bond game, 007 Nightfire. Nightfire was awesome because it incorporated driving in the game, which I thought was pretty cool. And it made the game amazing because it made, there was like this snow level. There was this level, it was like in the Alps, and you could ride the little carousel down to the ground and do all this stuff, and it was an amazing game. But what was really good, we went back to number 8 for our agent. What you could do for our agent that was really cool was it was the first time in video game history, in James Bond video game history, where you could actually play with like multiplayer in campaign, and you could have two different characters, and you could like, it was amazing. And I was always a sniper on that game because that was what I did on the game, and I always loved the pistol, the DD4. Amazing game from Goldeneye. And what made it really cool is they incorporated a lot of like the old movies into the game, where like there's a circus, there's a level that we go to a carnival, and there's a box that has the golden gun in it, and when you find it, it plays the original Goldeneye, that original song, yes. Number 10 would have to be, and this might sound a little weird saying this, but number 10 for me was a game called Flying Dragons. And it was like this old style cartoony martial arts fighting game. But it was like, I loved it. It was like it was the game I was really good at. I played as a character named Wheeler. He was like this like army guy. And you could go through and you could win fights and stuff and just do it all. It was to me, that was my childhood games. And Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor, I know weren't like big part of my childhood, but these two games, I've spent hours on these games playing them. And before I forget, Farming Simulator 17 is on that list. It just didn't make the cut of like top 10 of my all-time favorite games. Farming Simulator is getting close to being where I've spent most hours on, but I haven't done it quite yet. So now that you guys have seen the top 10 of my favorite movies and video games, I would have to say, before I forget, I'm going to give you the top 5 places, the top 5, in my book, these are the 5 historical figures that if I could go back in time to meet them, I would do in a heartbeat. And number 1 for me would definitely be Thomas Jefferson. He's always inspired me as a president. He was, yeah. Number 2 would have to be, I'd have to say at number 2, I think I wouldn't mind meeting Julius Caesar, just because dude was a beast. At number 3, I would have to say Mozart. 4 would be Beethoven. 5 would be Tesla, because Edison stole a lot of Tesla's ideas, and yeah. And before I forget, and this is really cool, today marks an historic event in history that is, in my book, someone who is really passionate about the oceans and its protection. The UK banned the import and export of shark fins, and they're the first to do it. So every country around the world, jump on this, because if you eat the shark fin soup, what I've heard about it, it's gross, and you don't need to eat it. It's a barbaric practice that he's did. So now you know a little bit more about me, and I hope everyone has a great day. And as always, and if you like this video so far, like this video, smash that like button. That's down here. Just give it a good old punch it, or kick it, or elbow drop it, or give it an uppercut. You know, you never know. But smash that like button, because it helps out a lot. And if you also like this video, hit that subscribe button, because it shows your support, and I can make more videos that you might like. And as always, I'm Joel Silva. Keep it oh so smooth.